I'm about to play every new minigame in Madden 24, show you how they work, and let's see if we can get the highest score possible. This video is presented by the EA Creator Network, as they did allow me to capture this early footage to show you guys. And of course, we gotta start with the legendary rushing attack. The goal here is to score as many touchdowns as possible. You get extra points for showing off, diving into the end zone, and faking out defenders. But if you want to get the gold, you pretty much have to score a touchdown on every single rep. That's what I've kind of come to learn from playing this. You can't have any plays that don't end in a touchdown if you want to get the highest score possible. Also, keep in mind, I am playing on a slightly earlier build of the game than what is going to release, so it is a work in progress and some minor things are subject to change. Now, rushing attack in general isn't too hard. It's pretty easy to fake out the defenders. The juke move works really well. The only hard part is you can't have a single mess up. They have to all be touchdowns if you want gold. So if your fullback misses the block, or if you have one juke that doesn't fake out a defender, then you're going to have to restart it if you want to get the highest score possible. But that was not a problem for us, as we're going to take home the gold, baby. Next up is rushing attack close quarters, which has the same objectives, but the thing that makes this tough is that you have to stay between the numbers. You can't outrun a defender down the sideline. You got to stay in tight, and you really got to hope to fake them out every play. And pretty much, once again, if you want gold, you're going to have to score every time, or you might be allowed one mess up, but that's about it. But when you're in tight like this, you don't have the same amount of room to fake out defenders every play, so it can get pretty difficult. I tried it a few times to see if I can get the gold. I'm sure if I played it a little bit more, I'd be able to get the gold, but we're just gonna have to settle for taking home the silver in this one. But I do like this because it definitely is a way to improve your running skills when you're forced to stay in tight and you can't outrun people. Up next is rushing attack extra aggression, and this is the same objective, except now you got 4 defenders to worry about, which again makes this significantly harder because you really do need to score almost every time if you want gold. But when you gotta fake out 3 guys and your blocker's only able to take out 1, it becomes significantly harder, of course. And you can see that I am pulling off the juke moves here, but they caught me that one time, and that's just not going to be good enough. You want to set them up and try to quick juke back to the inside. That is what I find works the best, but you can see on some of these attempts here, we're not timing it perfectly, and they're able to get the tackle. But if you do time it perfectly, you can juke back to the other side, and you can outrun them and score touchdowns. So that's kind of the method that I find works the best, but once again, I haven't perfected it, so we'll take silver. Up next, we have the option attack. So basically, you need to read the defense to decide if you want to hand it off to the fullback, keep it with the quarterback, or pitch it to the running back. So you're going to watch the guy that has the read key to kind of determine what to do. Now, when I ran this drill, for some reason, they were crashing down on the running back almost every time, but when I did it on some other attempts, it was a little more 50-50, but for some reason, they made it a little bit easier on me on this try, and they just kept crashing down on the fullback. So I would just keep it with Lamar Jackson, and then I watched the second guy to determine if I want to keep it with Lamar or pitch it to the running back. And more times than not, you're gonna score more touchdowns by pitching it. Even here, I stayed to the inside, and then at the last second, I tried to pitch it, but it didn't come out. But you'll see on some other examples, like right here, I stayed to the inside and then pitched it at the last minute so that I can score the touchdown. So this one's pretty fun. This is actually a really good drill if you want to get better at learning how to run the option. We didn't get gold, but we'll take the silver. Up next, we've got target passing. The objective here is you want to take out the targets. You can get extra points by actually completing the pass as well, and if you hit the deeper targets, you get more points. Now, I'll say this one is a little bit more difficult because of the fact that you actually have to hit the targets, and I find that a lot of times you have to use the high pass mechanic to actually take out these targets. So you want to hold the LB or L1 button when throwing the deeper passes so that you can actually hit the target, but you really have to try to time it up with the receiver's route so that you can both take out a target and get the ball in the hands of your receiver. And if you can hit the deeper ones, which is definitely harder, you can get some extra points. But this is one I'm gonna have to practice with a little bit more. I'm able to do it okay, but I haven't been able to figure out how to get gold just yet. But it's okay, we'll get better at it with time, and for now, we'll take home the silver. Hey, if you're still here watching at this point of the video and you haven't subscribed yet, you might as well go ahead and subscribe and join the family, because you're basically already a part of the family anyway, whether you like it or not. And you're not going to want to miss out on all the great Madden content I got coming this year. Next up, we've got target passing on the move, which is even harder because now all the targets move. So really, this one more than anything is a game of patience, because you have to kind of watch how the targets are moving and then snap the ball at the right time so that your receiver's route will hit the target at the time when it's in a spot where you can take the target out and also complete the pass. This is one of those ones, again, I'm going to have to practice with a little bit more. It's definitely a fun challenge, but I wasn't all the way there with it just yet. But again, we'll take silver. Now we're on the target passing sudden death. So this one, you pretty much have one rep. You kind of have to go until you miss, but you can earn extra reps by taking out extra targets and putting a streak together. So we're just going to keep throwing here until we start missing. So this is kind of one of those situations where you have to be perfect pretty much every time or the drill is going to end, and it's going to take quite a bit of time to get up to gold. You can see here we're building up a pretty good streak, but now we started to miss a few, and there we missed the last one, so we'll take home silver and live with it. Up next, we've got the pass skeleton. Now this mini game, much like all the other mini games, it's all about building up your multiplier in the right hand corner. If you want to get gold, you have to build that multiplier up, because in your last few reps, that's really when you can jump up to gold. But if you have too many mess ups or even just a couple mess ups that reset that multiplier, that's when you're going to be like me in some of these drills and you're going to keep coming away with silvers instead of golds. You definitely do not want your multiplier resetting. So in this example here with the pass skeleton, the thing that's going to increase your multiplier is just completing the pass. You don't need to go for touchdowns here. You don't need to go for big plays. You just need to make sure that every pass is complete, because as soon as you have an incomplete pass, your multiplier is reset and it's going to be pretty much impossible for you to get gold. Just like in some of the older ones, your multiplier might be scoring touchdowns and rushing attack or something like that, but here we were able to take home the gold. Now we've got pass skeleton outmanned, and to me this is one of the harder ones because you have extra defenders on the field, and the thing that makes this hard is that you don't get to pick your play. They're random plays, and sometimes EA is just going to give you a play that is going to get locked up by the defense. It's not going to be a good man beating play, for example, and they're going to have man defense on the field and everybody's just going to be blanketed. But once again, the only way to really get gold is you have to complete passes. So even if you got a short drag, just take it. You don't need to go for the touchdown every play. We're building up our multiplier here though. We're doing pretty good so far, but all it takes is one drop or just one bad play call or getting close in the end zone like this and you just have nobody open and the multiplier gets reset, which can really mess you up, but we still took home silver. Up next, we've got the wide receiver battle, and this is one of my favorite ones. I love the wide receiver DB battles. I love one-on-one. Can I cook the defender, or if I'm on the other side, can I lock up a receiver? Those are the most fun ones in my opinion. So here, I'm trying to get crispy with Justin Jefferson, the best receiver in the game. Run these routes. Now, to get gold here, again, you need to keep the multiplier going, which means you need to have consecutive catches. You don't want to miss the ball. You don't want to drop it, but you also want to catch the ball in these hot zones for extra points, and you're going to have to hit a couple like in the 400 or the 100 or 200. You're going to have to hit some of these consistently if you want to get gold. Just making the catch, I don't believe is going to be enough, but we're making the catches in the hot spots, and we're on the last rep here. We just need to haul in a catch here, and I think we're good, and just like that, we take home gold. Now we've got wide receiver battle on the move, so same principles here. Make catches, get in the hot spot, don't drop it, don't have incomplete passes. However, the targets are moving, so it's just a little bit harder to actually land in the targets, but your most important thing is you want to first make sure you're just at least catching the ball. Every catch doesn't have to be in a target, as you'll see. Some of mine are not in the targets, but I'm trying to at least get a good bit of them in the targets so that I can get the highest reward possible, which is gold. And you can see here, we're with CD Lamb. We're routing up against the cornerback. We didn't get gold, but we'll take silver. Now we've got wide receiver battle, red zone attack. I love the red zone attack because it's just close quarters here. You only got a few yards to work with. It's one-on-one. Can you stop Devontae Adams? Probably not. And I'm just cooking up. I'm getting filthy out here, to be honest. And we're going for the targets. This one isn't as hard just because it's easier to hit the targets because there's only a couple of them. And like right there, the 200 and the 400, they're in the back of the end zone. And it's not too hard to route the cornerback up and get to that back end zone. And I mean, as you can see, when you got Devontae, we're getting filthy back here. Make sure you go for the possession catch to haul it in, and we take home the gold. Now we've got an interesting one, which is backfield survivor. Now this one's kind of just more like goofy fun. You're not really going to get better at the game by playing this. This is a true mini game where it's just, let's see how high of a score you can get between you and your friends. You want to survive as long as possible. You have different points that are on the field that you can run through. You have stamina, like right here, that we're going to run through to try to get our stamina, because if you want to last long, you're going to need stamina in this mode. And there's extra defenders, and every so often they release another defender to come after you, to the point where you're going to get chased around by 4 guys. So the objective is try to get them to run into these little things that are on the field that will block them, try to get points, try to get stamina, and just see how long you can pretty much stay upright. Now we've been upright for over 2 minutes. We're not doing bad. We're still not in the gold just yet, but we're running out of stamina and we're gonna get close, but we'll take silver. Then we've got backfield survival home base, which is essentially the same thing, but you have a stamina home base at the 50-yard line where you can go to and keep getting stamina whenever you need it. But the longer you're upright and the more defenders that are coming after you, the harder it's going to get in there. You can also kind of get them caught up in that little home base, as you can see there, so you want to use it to your advantage. But I'll be honest, I'm not the best at this one, and here we'll take home bronze and live with it. Now let's go to the defensive side of the ball, and we're starting with coverage skeleton. So the idea here is you're just playing defense. You want to go for swats, interceptions. You don't want to give up touchdowns. That's the biggest thing. You probably will give up some completed passes, which is okay. Make the tackle, make a hit stick. You can still get points on the completed passes, but you want to try to get an interception or two. If you can get an interception or two or make them take a coverage sack like that, that's where your points can really build up. You can see we get an interception and the points jump up major. Just do not let them get touchdowns. If you can get an interception, maybe two, you'll get gold pretty easily on this, and as you can see, we got the gold. Up next, we've got coverage skeleton understaffed, which is the same thing, but you've got less defenders to work with. So it's going to be a little bit harder, but we're locking up out here, so it doesn't matter. You want to get interceptions. You want to stop them from scoring touchdowns. That's the name of the game, and we got 2 picks already, so we're off to a good start. They got a crazy catch right there, unfortunately, but you just want to play the best defense possible. We do give up a touchdown there, which is not good, but we can still make this happen because when you get a lot of picks, you can afford to give up a touchdown here or there, and we're making the plays. We did get silver. We'll live with it. Up next, we've got the DB battle. Now, like I said, I love the one-on-ones. The only thing with this is they do show you the route, which I think makes it a little too easy. Maybe they'll change that in the future, but they can definitely still beat you. You got to have proper kind of technique in how you defend the routes here, because even if you feel like you're in good coverage and you're trailing them, sometimes they'll get weird animations and like just go up and you'll kind of dumb out a little bit actually. So you want to make sure you're staying in front of the route so that you can get picks, and if you do, you'll get the gold like that. Next up, we've got DB battle red zone defense. This might be my favorite one. I love the one-on-ones, but they don't show you the route on this one, so you actually have to lock up and you have no clue what the receiver is going to run. You can give up touchdowns, but you don't want to, obviously. But if you're going to give up a touchdown, you definitely need to make sure that you're getting a lot of interceptions. That's going to get you gold in this. Right here, for example, you're going to see we're just trying to hold on to the gold. It breaks the tackle and he's going to score, but we had enough points to still bring the gold home, so we're good. Up next, we've got chase and tackle. Now, this is the other side of rushing attack, and for me, I find it's best to go for hit sticks. If you want to get gold, you got to go for the hit sticks because number one, you'll force fumbles sometimes, which will give you a big points increase, but also if you go for the wrap tackle, they're going to break the tackle a good bit of the time. Right here is a good example. If you're going for wrap tackles every play, I guarantee you they're going to break at least 30% of them, and you won't get gold because when they break it, it's going to be a touchdown. Now, you can give up a touchdown or two if you're hit sticking every play because you'll likely get a fumble bonus, which will help you out, which is what happened for me. But again, just go for the hit stick, put him on his behind. They don't really break the hit sticks too often like they do the wrap tackles. So as you can see, that's what we did, and we took home the gold. Now we've got chase and tackle double trouble. So this one is actually a little bit more difficult because this is a read option you're defending, but it's really impossible to tell if they're going to hand it off or keep it for the QB. So this one, I haven't quite figured out how to get gold yet. I have the same mentality of going for the hit sticks because I don't want broken tackles, but when you have no clue if it's going to go to the running back or the quarterback, it's just hard to defend because you kind of have to stay home to defend both, which puts you in a situation where it's hard to hit them for tackles for loss, which can give you extra points. So you kind of have to just take a risk, but we'll take silver. Now let's go to the trench battle. So here you just want to get past your guys as quickly as possible. You get points for successfully completing these different moves to shed the blocks, and then you want to take out the QB. You want to hit stick them, get a big sack for extra points, and you want to complete it as fast as possible. This one, I think you really just have to be as quick as possible, but you don't want to just run by the blockers because you get extra points for actually shedding them. We'll take the silver on that one. And now we're going to trench battle the long haul. This is probably my least favorite one. This one's kind of tough. I'm not really sure how to get gold. Once you get past the first couple blockers, sometimes it's hard to shed the blocks because it's like your guy is getting tired and he's using up pass rush points and stuff like that. So it does get a little bit harder once you get past the first couple guys, but I'm able to do it. You also got to stay in really tight with this one. You got these moving things on the field here that are very easy to run into as I just trip right there. So it's definitely one of the more challenging ones, that I'm not exactly a pass rush extraordinaire in Madden. I'm more of a user linebacker, user safety kind of guy. I don't ever mess with the pass rush moves much. So, and this is kind of all new to me, really, trying to get past these guys. Maybe someone that uses the D-line all the time might be a little bit better at a drill like this, but Well, we did as best as we could, and I believe we're going to take down the silver, so I'm not mad at it. Now let's go to special teams with punt roulette. So this one is just moving targets you're trying to hit. There's some negative targets there as well. This is another one of those mini games that's kind of just meant for fun. It's not really going to make you too much better at the game. You want to try to hit the higher points, and you want to avoid the negative one, clearly. So that's what we're trying to do here. I haven't really clearly perfected how to best do this one yet. I kind of was just playing it quick just to get some footage to show you guys, but it definitely looks like something that could be challenging to do with friends and see who can get the highest score. And let's see what we're going to wind up with here. We're going to take home silver, not bad. Now it's time for a classic, the coffin corner. This is straight PS2 right here, so I have to get gold on this one. This is what I did back in the day, and I was a beast at this. So basically, you want to get it into the red. If you want to get gold, you got to get it into the red pretty much every time, and you definitely don't want any touchbacks, and you don't want to be outside of any of the targets right here. You got to at least get it into one of the targets to keep your multiplier going. Like I said earlier, to get gold, you need your multiplier to grow, because then you get exponentially more points. But the more coffin corners you can hit, which you can see we're nailing them, it's making our points go up a lot. Now the thing that makes it hard is you have kind of not as much kick power in this mode. They kind of lowered, it seems like, and you can't always exactly see where the accuracy is, so you kind of have to get the feel of where to place it. But as you can see, we nailed it and took home the gold. Up next, we've got the field goal accuracy, another one from back in the day, but they've added a moving target onto it, which I like. I think that makes it more fun, and you can see there's different lines in the field goal. The closer to the center you get it, the more points you get. So what I try to do here to get gold is you obviously want to aim it at the middle. You want to do your power and accuracy, and then what I do is I hold the button until I'm ready to release it. I wait for the target to pass the little middle section that's red. If you can see, there's like a little red square. I wait for the target to just clear the red spot, and then I release. So by the time the ball gets there, as you can see, it nails the target perfectly. And as you can see, I'm pretty much hitting the target every time with this method. It's going to perfectly arrive right as the target is coming back up to the middle. And as you can see, we pretty easily took home the gold. And next, we've got the field goal accuracy hurricane season, which is another one of the crazy ones. You're going to get insane wins, and wherever the ball is on the hash, it can depend on, you know, how hard it is to actually time this. It's a little bit harder to hit the accuracy here because with the wind being so strong, it's kind of impossible to just hit the target every single time. I was able to still hit it a good bit, but you kind of have to play around with it because you're going to have different wind speeds, which is going to affect how fast the ball gets there. And sometimes the accuracy is not even going to be able to get into the uprights like right here. So you're going to have to purposely use bad accuracy on your kick meter to get the ball to go through the uprights. So it is a fun challenge, but once again, we took home the gold like we're supposed to. Now, if you want to see another crazy Madden 24 gameplay video that I just posted, make sure to check it out right here on the screen.